Hello, welcome to the Business Beat, where we help your business connect with your customers through authentic stories. Today, in our founder series, we have Ken Jologe, Ecotec Industries CEO, an engineering company in the waste management industry. Stay tuned to learn more about how to get rid of bad odors, to avoid concept overflows, and also escape the high cost of exhaustion, especially for those using traditional human waste disposal systems such as pit latrines and septic tanks.
Audio Jungle.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Previously, with our conversation, to get to understand your business, you are in the waste management industry.
True.
And recently, we've been having not only recently, but
Yes.
we have so many challenges in the waste management industry. And I was wondering, what are the biggest problems your clients are facing today that so many people are overlooking?
Thank you so much. One of the biggest challenge I've seen with our clients is something called constant overflows. We have been having a problem, especially in areas that are very rocky and areas that have cotton soil. Anytime it rains, there's always the pit latrines and the septic tanks always fill up, and it's a big challenge to our clients.
Yeah, that's quite a big one. And I'm sure so many people at our audience, they can relate with this one.
True.
So I'm thinking when people find these challenges and maybe try to fix them either with the wrong tool or just try to ignore them,
Yeah.
How does it look like maybe 6 months down the line for them if we don't fix this problem?
You know what happens, especially in those areas that are rocky and have a cotton soil. If clients are not do not move to the modern septic tanks or to the new human waste disposal systems, which are biodigesters, it leads to long-term cost, because anytime a toilet or a septic tank or a pit latrine fills up or septic tank fills up, you'll be required to call an exhauster each and every time, and it's very expensive, very expensive. So one thing I would like to encourage to clients: if you are there and you're still using the traditional human waste disposal systems like pit latrines and septic tanks, please upgrade to biodigesters, which will serve you for a long time, and it will save you from this long-term cost of exhausters each and every time.
Oh, thank you. So, and most of the time with such kind of a solution, we have found so many families, they don't realize the kind of solutions they really need for their waste disposal problem. And I see this is quite an innovative approach, providing these biodigesters in the place of pit latrines and the traditional septic tanks.
True.
I am wondering what really drove you to this ingenious solution.
What happened about 5 years ago? I was somewhere in a cyber that is owned by a friend, and a client came. He was printing the flyers. So when the cyber guy, my friend who is a cyber guy who owns the cyber was printing those flyers, I saw something, and when I saw it, at first I thought it was a biogas, because I used to know of a biogas. So when I looked at the flyer, I asked the guy who was an engineer, who is still an engineer, by the way, and he started explaining to me how it works, and that's when I was a bit interested in it, because before then, I remember I used to visit even people, families, friends in their home, and I would see this problem of anytime it rains, the pit latrines, the septic tanks always fill up, and many clients were trying to look for a solution, because the cost of cooling and exhaust and every time is very expensive. So I got interested, and the engineer invited me in one of his sites where he was going, He kept inviting me each and every time. Anytime he was going to site, he kept inviting me, and I started learning bit by bit. So one day we were having a conversation, and he told me, "I can see you are a very young guy. Why don't you open your company, and I'm going to guide you on how you're going to do your thing." And then and now it's been over 5 years now down the line. I opened my own company, and now it's been over 5 years, and we're still running.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Finding inspiration in places that you may never think.
True.
Inspiration for starting a business.
True.
And finding the right person who encourages a micro, an SME to get started, to making a living out of an ingenious solution. These biodigesters, how exactly do they work?
What happens about digester? For those who don't know what is about digester is a human waste disposal system. In a layman language, for those who don't understand, it's a modern septic tank. It does the same function as a septic tank, but it's a modern septic tank. What happens for those who have used a septic tank, after some time, the septic tank will fill up, and you'll need to call an exhaust or even a pit latrine. But for a biodigester, what happens when we are constructing? We use we put in something called enzymes. Enzymes are bacteria. So these bacteria are the ones that break down the human waste into water, and then after some time, this water moves through the out. When we are constructing about digester, we have an inlet and we have an outlet. So once the waste gets into the biodigester, it's broken down by the enzymes, which are bacteria. Then after some time, that water after some time it turns into water. That water leaves the biodigester through the outlet to something called a soak pit. Anytime we are constructing a biodigester, we have the biodigester and we have a soak pit. So this water goes to the soak pit. Later, it's absorbed by the soil. So anytime we construct a biodigester, we will not have a problem of each and every time. We will not have an issue of that every time that my biodigester has filled up, I have to call an exhaust, or I have to add up water. No. Once you construct a biodigester, it will serve you for a lifetime.
And I've found there's a soak pit somewhere.
Yeah.
Are we? Is this to say the water that moves to soil is safe?
Yeah, it's very safe. It's very safe, and that's why we say about digester. It's eco friendly to the environment. The water that is absorbed by the soil, it's very safe, because when you come to the soak pit, we add there's something in the soak pit. We put in things the hard costs. These are the stone rejects. For those who don't know, the stone rejects, we add them. So the function of the hard cost is to sometimes is filtration. In case there's any dirt that, in case maybe it was not that comes through the outlet with the water, it will be filtered. So by the time this water is ending up in the soil, it's safe. That's number one. Number two, the function of those hard costs to diversify. Especially in areas that have cotton soil, or maybe they are rocky. Absorption of water is the soil does not absorb water that fast. So when this water gets into this hard course, it's diversified into different. When the water is diversified, it does not go to the same place. So this one make it easy for the soil to absorb the water very fast. So you not have an issue of the soak pit has filled up or anything. And number two, the enzymes also make sure that this water is it's eco-friendly. It's good. It's good to the environment. It does not harm the environment by the end of the day.
And I'm also assuming, since the basics of clean water, but love-free here is clean in quotes, I'm also assuming when we are defining clean water, it's also free from odor.
Yes, it's odor free. By the time this water is getting into the soak pit, it's odor free.
Yeah.
Even if you went to a place where we have a soak pit and you did some you removed some soil a little bit, you didn't hear of any smell. It's odor free completely.
Yeah. That's thank you for that note. And also, I've also heard that whenever you're constructing the biodigesters, you normally use enzymes to break down the human waste into
Yes.
Liquid water. With traditional knowledge of what I've heard with pit latrines, the kind of enzyme they use, they have to keep on refilling from time to time.
Yes,
Is it the case? Is this the case with your Biosep Biodigesters?
No. For us, what we do, anytime when we are doing the plastering, Yeah? For those who know about construction, they know about plastering. It's that the final. We have that final. It's called the cement that is mixed with water. It's called a nil. People call it nil in the construction industry. That cement is the one that we mix with the enzymes. So, they're bacteria. So the more they stay in there, the more they multiply. As far as they work well in an area that is oxygen free.
I believe now this one also helps a lot when it comes to maintenance, meaning if you don't have to refill them from time to time with what I've had, now also that saves a lot of cost of maintenance cost to your clients.
True. You don't have to keep going back to buy the enzymes to keep adding up. When you mix it with the nil and it is tested there, it's more effective. Anytime the waste is digested, the waste that is already digested and turns into water leaves, it will be leaving with some enzymes. That means you don't know the exact amount of time that you need to fill up. You may need even to call a plumber sometimes because maybe it has blocked because the enzymes are done and you don't know the specific time you need to add up the enzymes. So the best way we do, and as a company, what we have done, we make sure we mix them with nil to make sure they are long lasting.
Yeah,
and they are very effective.
Yeah, that's true. And then if you cannot tell when to add the enzymes, now we go back to the challenges of order.
Yes.
And maybe sometime are these maybe the first one, are these enzymes themselves safe for the environment? The enzymes used for in the biodigesters, are they safe, or how do you solve them to make sure these are also the enzymes themselves are safe for the environment?
What happens? These enzymes will not end up into the environment. They're just meant to be in the biodigester to make sure they break down human waste effectively, so that by the time the water is by the time the water has been released on the other side from the outlet, it's number one, it's odorless, it's clean, and it's good and it's not harmful to the environment.
So meaning this is just a chemical reaction and the byproduct is something that is safe for the environment.
Yes.
Okay. And with this kind of solutions I've had, have you heard clients come to you and they have learned a lot of ideas on how exactly to dispose their human waste? And also, what was their life like after installing your Biosep Biodigesters for their businesses or their homes? What was their life like?
I've visited. What we do, we keep we do something. We keep recheck. What do you call it? We keep going back to our clients after we do installation. We don't lose the contact with the client. We keep going back to check if our biodigester are still working effectively. So I remember there's this client I met. Was it, I think, in Rongai? They had used a pit latrine for a long time. And in most people who know about Rongai is a rocky place. So anytime it rained, the pit latrine used to fill up each and every time. So I remember after they called us and we installed the biodigester. I remember even first before the time we were installing the biodigester, they were not even sure because they kept asking, "Will it work? Will it work?" Because they never believed that that finally they will be done with that thing of every time. There's constant overflows, that anytime it rained, sometimes they even had to borrow to go to the neighbor's place to use the toilet, because the place was, every time it rained, it used to fill up. So I remember I visited them after, I think, 1 year after the installation, and I could see the excitement on their face. They never believed that they had solved that problem of each and every time terrain. They had to look for an exhauster, which is very expensive. So if you don't have money, you'll have to either you go to a neighbor's place, or you deal with it. And most of the time, when these overflows happen, there's a lot of hygiene problems. There's a lot of odor. So you cannot even invite visitors in your place. You'll even be afraid anytime a guest is telling you, "I want to visit your place." Be afraid because of the smell, of the bad odor, of the water is all over. I remember even sometime when it rained, the water used to come up and it was all over the floor. And after visiting them, they were very excited. They even went ahead and referred us to so many clients in that area. Most clients in that area are using biodigesters today, courtesy of Ecotec Biodigesters.
I can imagine the joy of our clients who, even finding a solution, they have their fears,
Yes.
and to see the solution work and you not disconnecting the cord between you and the client after the installation, that is quite commendable for Ecotec Industries for that effort. Now, I'm also wondering for our viewers listening to us, or also those just listening, those watching, uh, and thinking this is actually what they're facing today. Exact problem they're facing as per the explanation of how exactly persons with traditional human waste disposal systems, the struggles they're going through. What would be the smallest step they can take to the right direction with Ecotec Industries?
Just talk to us. Our number is 0718 698 278. When you call us, we will come to your site, we assess the site. Then from there, we'll have a conversation on how, depending with how your ground looks like, be it it's rocky or the place has cotton soil. You know, many people have fear that but it just doesn't work in places that have cotton soil or places that is rocky. It works well. So when you come to a site, you're going to assess your site. We see how that ground in that area looks like. We send you a quotation, and then we start the construction. We even assure you that we are going to give you something that is safe, sustainable, and affordable for lifetime.
Thank you. To our viewers, that is the number 0718 698 278. Whenever you want to reach out to Ecotec Industries for the ultimate solution for your human waste disposal systems, that is Biosep Biodigesters. Until next time, stay tuned. For today's episode recap, for those in commercial and domestic establishments, we have found an ultimate solution for human waste disposal challenges, and that is by installing Biosep Biodigesters. It helps you get rid of bad odors and constant overflows, which might lead to loss of income, especially for commercial establishments.